Hey guys, in this video we're going to do the tutorial for Tientos del Candil from Vicente Amigo, the main theme at the very end where he plays with many guitars. As promised, the tutorial that I said if the video gets 500 likes, I'll do the tutorial for that part at the end. So here it is. Even though we're still like 12 or 13 likes short, but it's totally fine. I know you guys want it so much, so let's go ahead and do it anyway. So it's that one here, just to remember it again. Okay, and so on. So basically here, let's start doing it very slowly first, and then I can talk a little bit more in detail as I do always, okay? So again, very slowly. Now we have Okay, now another way you can do this, by the way, there's a small different part which you can take from here to the other octave, and you will get a very, very nice sound to it. The first part, which we do here, if we take it up and we do, and then we go, now we can continue. From here we can continue the same, but that small part we do up there would be also very nice. So let me play this one slowly too, you can have that one too. So if we do, now we go, now we continue. Now another small detail I'll give you guys, because this melody is very beautiful and the key changes and all that are very, very nice. So I like to fool around a bit with it. So this is another thing you can do. If you do from here, and then you can continue from here. Anyway, you can just fool around a little bit with the octaves, you know. You can start from here, go to the other place, you can play a little bit here, and then when you feel like going back to the basses, like there is no one way to do anything really in music. I don't think that there is just one way to do that. No, there's always many possibilities, right? So let's go ahead now and talk a little bit more in detail how to play that. The things that I do maybe is a little bit too subtle to catch, maybe even if I play slowly, so I'll mention just in case, okay? So first we are starting here. For example, this note we are having the pull off, and we hammer on here. We don't have to play the note really. We can do it sometimes and sometimes not, depending on the dynamics you're going for. So if we have like this, just placing, and then you play with the ring finger down and you put the chord. It's a very nice way to accompany yourself when you play the chord this way, with the thumb, index, middle ring together, right? Okay, we have the 2, 4, 0, 1, and then you repeat. We have, this is all picado, so pull off, and then we play picado. Okay, and then we repeat, only hammer on and okay. Now the second part, which what you can do here basically is start from the arpeggios. Actually, that's the way I've heard him do it. So you can have from the index, middle ring, going down, so here, and then start picado from here, and then, or it's really, for me, makes better sound if we just put the finger on without playing it like this, because we don't really need to hear this note so much. Not so much. It's, you can, of course, you can control it with the right hand, play a little bit less strong, and it will be much better, right? But you can also do it easier with just putting your pinky and taking it off. That's all, you know. And then again. Now here we have. Again, now I'm doing. We need to have the bar ready so that we can have the chord ready. If it's too much to put this ninth, like this, you can go. You can give this. I'm not a huge fan of this now, but if you want to give just the bass, it's fine. Or you can have the seventh, it will be even better. That would be the easier way to do it, actually. Just forget about the sixth. So instead you can just put here the F7 if it's too much to get the pinky there, but it would sound really good if you can. This one. So the same thing we are doing here on the right hand, thumb, index, middle ring together. So when we go, so that we have the sound, and then we continue from here, picado. So pull off, and we go. Here we can directly put the chord. So as you go with the thumb going down, as you get to this note, from the fifth going down, and we put this C minor 7, okay? And then we continue. Now it's nice to put that chord there, or but it's too much, so we can have again thumb, index, middle ring together, okay? One more time this phrase. And we continue with. Same thing here. Instead of doing, we can have going all the way down with the thumb. Now we can start from the 6th to give this A sharp flat 9, no? Again. Picado. Now we can go down, or what we talked about before. Start with a different octave. You can then go to this octave down. Okay, or you can have also and continue. Okay, so we have let's say we reach here. Let's say we take it down. We have okay, we play the bass first. Let's say here with the thumb, and down here on the 7th fret, pull off, and we play. We can have it even all. The first note can be like a rest stroke, and then here if it's free stroke, it's totally fine. Now we have pull off. nice to have a small slide. Anyway, again. You can always accompany the last part with the chord. It gives a very nice sound to it, no? Like with one guitar, basically you will be doing like the sound of two, anyway. So now we have I recommend to finish the last note here with this ring finger, so that, or with the third finger, so that we can have this chord here. Okay, with the, which it would be here, the G sharp minor 7. Okay, if you want to go here, it's totally fine. If you go, let's say, to a little bit more full, more bassy. If you want to stay a little bit high, we have a little bit high. I mean, if you want to stay on the high notes like this, then we have that sound. Okay, again. Now for the scale part, here when we go like this, I'm sure you've heard Vicente in the recording. He chose the higher notes, so when he goes from here actually. It's a little bit harder to play it with one guitar with the chords. It would be kind of sounding better if you played just the melody on one guitar, but if we have to put the chords, it's going to be a little bit too much, maybe. So that's why I chose to continue from here. I find it easier to just control everything here without having to change so many positions. I mean, to go up and then back down, up and down. Right, so that's the only reason I just stuck to this position. Okay, so going back to the scale, so we start with the hammer on from the 8th fret to the 9th on the 4th string, and then we go down. We have 7, 8, and then 6, 7, all picado. After the first one is hammer on, and then we play picado and go down, and then we have a small. Well, small, not so small. It's a little bit too stretchy, maybe. So we have to reach the 11th fret. This way, you can do it from the 6 to the 11. And then we play the note again, up, and then we put the bar, so that we can accompany again with the chord. If we don't do it, and then it kind of would be a little bit too late to have the chord sound. So in this case we can just do this way, followed by the bass right afterwards, right? So we have bar, bass, so we have thumb, thumb, index, and middle ring at the end. Okay, and then we have, let's say, we can either directly put, so we have already, so we can keep the bar and we do the picado. Now this picado Vicente is very sensitive about, and I'm aware of it, starting low and getting high, and not just we have just like that. It's not going to make so much sense. So if we go down, so they had going up. Okay, that's the, again, Vicente is the king of dynamics, let's say. Really, he really cares a lot about this, so we have to respect at least that part, not change anything, no? So going down like this, we can have the notes either start a little bit from here, going, let's say, one way to do it, and then having a little bit stronger, or because if you start directly here, it will be fine, but not the same. If we do this, we can have more dynamics, and then going back down. Okay, it's very nice. So again, we have the notes. I haven't counted them yet, so it would be, we can have 6 notes, let's say, just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be. We have the last note we have the bass at the same time up on the 5th string, 6th fret, this way. Okay, so we go. Go down. Okay. Here we have, after we do the pull off, and we play tirando, like we don't have a free stroke, and then go down with the thumb from the 5th all the way down. Okay, and then we continue with. The same thing every time we can do. This is a small trick which you can use even in other pieces, not just this one, which after you play, have the bar ready so that you can put the chord. If we don't do that, it's going to take like a millisecond really, or a second probably, depending, to put the bar and then play the chord. So to be prepared for that, we can directly put the note that we are playing, the last note. Already we have the bar on, so we can directly follow the melody with the chord. Like this, or for example, you can play just the bass. It doesn't mean that we go all the way down with the chord. We can just have the chord ready and choose notes from the chord to accompany the melody. You see? Now this, he doesn't put this chord, but I don't know, I just threw it in. You can choose it or you can just ignore it, okay? And you can go back, or you can just, like I said, just go by that, okay? And now for my favorite part of the piece, which is where he goes from that melody. Melodically, he uses a very, very nice way of going from that key back to the original key, which was the F sharp minor. So he goes like this. Or, so as you see that here, we put the B minor chord, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we are on B minor key. This is a chord inside F sharp minor. Now, I'll tell you how we can get there is if we continue, if we follow the melody, we will know. So, when we do this way, this is the B minor, right? Now he goes with, this is already, here changing. It sounds like a Roomba here. It's very nice anyway. When we go back from this part, we have the B minor. Now I chose the B7, the B6, sorry. We have like this. You can choose the 7, which is this one here if you want. It's a little bit easier. I would say it's more neutral in a way. If we have like it's neutral. This is giving something that takes your ear somewhere. It's not like this is you're clearly still focusing on here. But this chord, again, it takes you a little bit somewhere else, which is like a small spice to that melody on it. I think that's what how I hear it. No, now, so when we do this this change here, the on the fingers, I mean, how to do it. I mean, we have. Now we do. So we have. How would I did? This is how I did in the, well, many times. If we go like this, with the 3rd finger, let's say, okay, one more time. Here you can put the thumb and index middle together just like that, and then last note would be with the middle. Okay. So now for this part here we have. D major 7, we can have thumb, index, ring, middle. And the position is starting from the 5 and ending on the 2nd, okay? Here, so we have, for example. Another small thought I want to share with you guys, I was thinking if it were Antonio Rey playing this part, for example, I would imagine it would go something like this. Let's say, no? It's the perfect place to use these, and he has a lot of these, so it sounds very nice, by the way. It's very interesting, right? So to continue from this part, after we do this, let's say we have, we did, so we got to this part. Now I like to do the last one to be open second, even if I heard it here on the 3rd, and then we can put the C sharp minor like this, okay? And then we can repeat. Now we can have a different sound of the same chord, the D major 7. You can change the chord as well if you want, something that's inside that chord and take a different note, or you can just focus on a different position, let's say, of it. So we have here more bass. Down we had a little bit in the middle, like this. Now if we focus on the bass more, to change a small thing about it, or let's say we can do even something like that, to have the same chord but a little bit different feeling of that same chord, okay? So after we finish, or just like that, okay? And we repeat. Let's say we have this, again, the D major 7, 5, 5, 4, 6 from the top. And again, you can have, again, because we did, so we can also accompany and follow it the same way we did the other chord, the previous chord. Just like that, with the same way, no? And going to the C sharp minor with the more bass, okay? And then we finish with, I would recommend here to get a little bit more strong, because we've played enough soft parts here, right? Sound nice to have like an aggressive sound again on the F, especially the F chord. Let's say we can have from the 6th to the 3rd string. Let's say, okay, and we have like that. Or again, I repeat this many times because I feel it's a perfect way to accompany your melody with the thumb, index, middle, ring, or going down with the thumb just like that, okay? And we finish with, we finish with the E. So we have this chord, so we have the D minor, and then this chord we can put it even here, okay, again, or directly. Here you can directly pull off as you do and play, and then followed by directly this part here. We have okay, and then eventually we can repeat the same thing. We can do repeat from the high part. It's a lot. Things like that, you can experiment with the piece. It's a very beautiful piece, very beautiful melody. And the thing about Vicente that he does with the recordings, for example, in this part he put many guitars and it's super beautiful. I think if you play it on one guitar just like that, you will see more the beauty of it, I think. Like, I'm not saying it's not nice what he did, but on one guitar it's kind of more visible and more clear how beautiful it is. Because when you hear many guitars, you might get distracted and cannot maybe follow exactly what is happening, but one guitar is always very clear. So I like to take these melodies that he has sometimes and just put them, even if something like that, on many guitars, and put them on one guitar so that you can see what he's really doing. Because what he's really doing is very interesting. All these key changes that he's going through are very interesting, that are very subtle at the same time, that you might not notice with that many, let's say, guitars, if let's say the recording like that. So hopefully now you can see all the chord changes that he's doing and how many possibilities you have in doing the same melody. It's not necessarily, like I said before, not just one way that you do it and that's it. You have many ways to do the same melody. Okay, and you have many different choices when it comes to harmonies. Like, don't stick to just one chord and that's it. I never recommend something like that. Like, just find the first chord you put and okay, that's it, that's fine. No, keep experimenting the same way we did here. We were talking about the 7th. We didn't even try the 9th yet, but the 9th is an option, or the 6th this way, or another position of the 6th. Maybe you can find different chords that can help you after this one, if you different chord that comes after, I mean, here on this position. So you have many possibilities. So keep looking for possibilities and keep don't just stick to one thing. This is my advice. This is not just for this piece or this tutorial in general. This is just, I mean, in general, like, just look for other possibilities. Keep searching, keep looking, really. Okay, now again, I'm going to say it as always, just like the video. It really helps a lot. The last video that you liked, that you put like on for me to make this tutorial, was actually one of my most viewed videos recently, and it got the most views, it obviously most likes and interactions, because you guys put a lot of comments there too. So these things really help to grow the channel a little bit more, and hopefully we can have a nice journey together, and we'll do a lot more like these. Okay, so like, subscribe, and if you have anything you want to say, you can comment as well, and I'll be reading your comments and I try to reply, or I hopefully one day maybe make a video where I can reply to the comments, since I don't have really much time to reply to all of you guys, but like I said before, I do read all of them. Okay, so hopefully I'll see you next time with another video. Let's see what I'll do next. Okay, stay safe.